Using the Morph transition tool, we'll take a PowerPoint like this and turn it into something more like this. The Morph tool is allowing it to seem like we're adding almost animated figures into our presentation. So, first things first, you need a title to be able to add Morph transitions to it. So go ahead and add that title and make sure that it's got its background image that's not overpowering, it's got a title, it's properly fonted and sized correctly. So once you have that, make sure you go ahead and click Insert, Shapes, and get yourself the rectangle shape. Try to match it to the edges as best as you can, and then correct it with its little correction tabs. Go ahead and align it to each of the edges, make sure it's perfect. Boom! Great. So shape the format. Under the Shape Format tab, we're going to go Shape, Fill, and find yourself a color that you like. I like this dark blue. It's a little bit way too overpowering, so we're going to go down to Shape Styles, click the little drop down, and go to Transparency. I'm going to go around maybe 75%. Keep that blue on there. That looks pretty good. Yeah, about 74-75%. Close that out and see how it's covering that text. I don't want that. I want the text to pop, right? So we're going to change the layering. So go to Shape Format at the top and make sure you click Send Backward. Not send to the back, but send backward. And that'll just change and push it back behind the text. Boom, the text is up front. Now we will duplicate this. Boom, we got two duplicated, which is Control-Z and Control-V to copy and paste your slides. Now what we will do, go ahead and zoom to about 70%. Click on the shape, not your background, but your shape. Hold Shift and drag it down. Perfect. And what that allows you to do is add that transition morph to your second slide. So go down to the second slide, boom, morph transition. Make sure you're on transitions, morph. I'll show you what that looks like now. Go from the beginning, boom, that's perfect. Now that we have the morph transition applied, let's go ahead and adjust that text. Highlight your text. I like to decrease it a little bit and pull it out of the way so we have some more room to work with. And boom, and that'll still add that transition with the morph tool. So next we are going to go to Insert, Shape, Line, get that line tool, and add a line where you would think a good line entry point would be, about halfway. Hold that Shift key and create a line, a straight line across. Make sure it goes over the edges, and I'm going to change the color from Shape Outline to make that white. And I'm also going to go down to weight and increase it to about 3 points, whatever works best for you. And I'm going to actually take it and drag it off the screen. Boom. There we go. And now I'm going to duplicate this slide. Boom, and zoom back in. And there we go. Now on this next slide, I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to go to Shapes again. Circle. Get yourself a circle that isn't too necessarily big. Hold the Shift key to make it perfectly fit onto the, make a perfect circle. Do about there. That looks good to me. I'm going to make it Shape Fill white. And also the outline white as well. Now I'm going to perfectly align this circle with my line, and I'm going to create another circle and align that perfectly just on top here. Boom. And now that I have done that, I'm going to add this line back to my PowerPoint. Boom. Make it a little shorter on the side. It should look something like this. Perfect. So I'll show you what that looks like. Boom, famous mountains. Add that slide. Boom. Adds that line. Now remember, since we copied and pasted, we still should have that that transition morph in there. Now that we have our circles created, we're going to go ahead and just copy and paste. Now we have 4 slides total, and see our circles are here. Let's go to the 4th, and let's space that out. Boom. And this other one we're going to put right behind it. Boom. And then we're going to go ahead and copy and paste one more time. Boom. And this one we're going to move. Boom. So what we did there, as you saw, there is our circles on slide 3. Now we move both circles on this spot for slide 4, and then I separated them on slide 5. So now that you've learned how to add your own graphics and use the morph transition, add in some text, add in some, some information. Make sure you put it on the outsides. So boom, I added in some information. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate. Remember, duplicate that page once you added your information on the outside, and bring it in. Bring it in how you want. Make sure it's centered. Use that center tool. If it's not centered, that is perfectly fine. Just make sure you go back and recenter it if it's needed to on both slides. That's why I wanted to show you that. And just go ahead and center it up. Boom, that looks centered. Check it out. I'm gonna add it in. Boom, does that look centered? It does. Make sure everything looks good. And we'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. So boom, and sliding those in. Boom. That's how you do it. It's simple as that, and you could change it up however you want.